everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here. Let me scooch this back a little bit. I thought it was all lined up, and then I look at it, and I'm like, nope, not lined up. But there we go, now we're lined up. So many things. Hey, 5 Raiders from Ginger. Hi, Ginger. How you doing today? Good to see you. I see we've got some Just Right Sandy there, and we've got Lost Shire Hobbit. Awesome. Hi, everybody. Oh, it's Kokosi. Wow, it's a whole bunch of people popping in. Um, I guess tasks and steel keys and housing deco was too exciting for you to stay away, right? No, really, basically, like, I realized that there's no festival right now. So I was like, well, what was I going to do today? And I thought, okay, well, I've got a couple of things that I wanted to, address. So I thought I'd just make a smorgasbord of things today. How am I feeling? Oh, I'm feeling better than I was last week, that's for sure. But it is funny because I woke up this morning thinking I was getting better, and then I was like, I feel worse. So I do sound better, though. Thank you very much. Yeah, so we'll see how long I go. I often will be like, oh, I'm just going to stream for a short time, and then 2 hours later, I'm still here, right? So my plan is not to go for 2 hours, but we'll see. If the cat settles in, if I settle in, if my voice doesn't give out, we're all good. Okay, so I thought what I would do is, well, so first of all, hello, anybody who's not one of our regulars. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the Lotro Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Lotro stream. And I'm your host, Little Redhead. So we'll be doing some just random things today. Dogs asked, have you tried the Mordor server? Unfortunately, it is not up yet as far as I'm aware. I have been checking the thread, which reminds me that I was thinking I would pull up that thread actually. And so well, takes you directly to the post that Cord posted today. Well, Cord posted something at like, I don't know, 2:30 in the morning, which, although that might be my time. At any rate, they ran into an issue during internal build verification, which means the opening of Mordor has been pushed out of today. The current excuse me, and I think that meant Monday. So the current rough estimate, he says, has us opening Mordor perhaps as soon as 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, Tuesday. So that's today. So 5 p.m. Eastern today, possibly. But that also delays the planned stress test, which would have been happening at 3 p.m. Eastern. So if they don't even open it until 5, Anyway, he says, assuming things check out, we'll have the opening of Mordor and the start of the stress test at the same time, which would be late afternoon Eastern and well into the evening for us. Because if it's 5 p.m. Eastern, that's going to be like 11 p.m. here. So I don't know if we'll participate, if we'll get a chance to go. Because, one, I should go to bed. And 2, I have Dutch class in the morning. So I should not stay up late playing Lotro tonight. But, yes, it is worth going ahead and getting the Bull Roarer launcher, because anybody who wants to participate in that, you'll want to go ahead and get that. You'll need to use the Bull Roarer launcher, not the regular launcher. And, okay, actually, is there, I think there is, Bull Roarer. Yeah, there we go. There's some links that will take you to information about how to load the Bull Roarer launcher. It looks just like the regular Lotro one. It's got the little ring and everything. But it does take you to the test server and not these live servers. So definitely, yeah, check that out if it comes up in a time frame in which you are awake. Lost Shire is not working today because of the tracking massive hurricanes coming through. Well, I hope you are safe. Do be careful. My dad and my stepmom live in South Carolina, and so they are used to hurricanes coming through on a regular basis. And they'll be like a category 3 coming through, and we're like, so when are you leaving? They're like, oh, we're just gonna go over to a friend's house and wait it out. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? I would feel better if you were not near it, but okay. They have been through it more times than I have, so I suppose they know better what they're doing. Um, but yes, as Lashar points out, there is a major hurricane heading for Jamaica currently. Current winds are 160 miles an hour. It's Category 5. So do be careful out there, y'all. Um, okay, so that's Bullroar, addressed, as it were. So I think I have cat hair all over my face. I was laying down, and there's cat hair everywhere right now, and which is fine, but I generally don't want it like on my face. Anyway, I'm actually in the game with one of my elves. I do have a few elves, although on this server I only have one elf. So I'm on the Laurelin server with my one elf of Laurelin, and the reason is I'm trying to get legendary item experience. So if you look at your legendary item reward track, I have stuff I can claim actually, and all praise to be for he went through and dealt with my inventory here on Laurelin because he's a superstar and fixed this up for me. So look at all this room this character has now. So I can actually claim a bunch of this stuff. How close are we to the handheld teapot? We're close. We're level 20. And the handheld teapot is at level 25. I did get it over on Treebeard, and it is kind of weird because your character just stands there like holding it, like it's pouring out of it. It's really funny. But anyway, doesn't matter. So one of the things I'm doing, though, is when I remember, and today seemed like a good day to remember, is I take my character over here to the task boards, and I'm like, hey, let's look at tasks that are of her level. So she's level 57. So I'm going to look at the 51 to 60. I could look at the 61 to 70, but it's like, there's nothing here for you. Come back when you're at that level. And because I have her capped at level 57, this is about what she's going to be getting. So she does have access to like the Iron Garrison Guards and the Iron Garrison Miners of Moria, those tasks, and then some Algreg stuff. So what I did is I took my 150 character the other day and just ran around Moria and collected a whole bunch of task stuff, which I just realized, oh yeah, hang on, isn't on this character, but it should be in my shared storage, unless I left it. Oh, here it is, cool. Yay, look at all that room in my shared storage. It's a yellow bar now. Yeah, that was definitely a before action. Oh, Loshire says, I'm in the UK. Right, I forgot about that. So nowhere near, but family and friends and family are in hurricane zones. Means I became a hurricane tracker for a few months of the year. Yeah, I understand that. I try not to look because sometimes I just don't want to know. Yeah, Ginger, that happens when you have cats. I know. I actually had a different shirt on. I went and changed because it was a black shirt and it was just covered in cat hair. And I'm like, this just looks bad. Although you probably couldn't see it on stream, but I'm like, I can see myself covered in cat hair here. Actually, it was really funny because I was wearing a couple layers, and I took off my outer shirt, and I set it on the couch next to me, on the other couch. And one of the cats came and lay down with me here, and then the other cat tried to lay down, but he couldn't like get comfortable, so eventually he got down, and then when I looked up, he was laying on my shirt on the other couch. Like, goof. Okay, so here's my task I am carry all, and in here, let's go ahead and sort it alphabetically. And I made a little list of some of the things that are going to show up over here. And so I can just scan for them quickly. So like the barbed claws, but we're down to 4 of those because I went through a bunch of those the other day. Beautiful sword sheaths. Beautiful, nope. Charming things. Let's see if we have any charming things. Only 5 left. Okay. Any creepy things? Okay, we got 59 creepy filth. Cool. So we could do 5 of these. So I'm going to look for creepy filth. Yay. And then I'm going to look for creepy filth under miners, because a lot of times if you can do it for the guards, you can do it for the miners. And then you just turn it into the box that's sitting right in front of the board. I don't even have to go to Moria. It's so great. Oh, and I forgot to show you to pay attention here. Well, we'll do this again. Okay, so I'm going to do this again. Creepy, what do we say we have? Creepy filth. Accept. And then creepy filth for the other people. Accept. And then when I turn it in, check it out. It's going to, so the reason I'm doing this is I mean, it gives me a reputation, which is nice. But the other thing is it's giving me legendary item experience because it's like, you know, the level of having your legendaries or higher, and I have my legendaries. So that opens that up. So if I finish now, watch the legendary purple bar over there. Boom! I'm into the next one. So that's pretty exciting. And we'll do one more there. Oh, awesome. I'm kindred with the Iron Garrison Miners. That's funny. I mean, I've obviously stepped foot in Moria, but not for very long. And then one thing I have to keep an eye on is over here. Okay, so we got some Lotra points. We got 20. That's nice. Title, Aaron Garrison Marner, and deed is done. Reputation. Okay, cool. So you can only do so many tasks per character per day. And it says over here up on your quest log, daily tasks. I have done 4 out of 6. So I can do 2 more. Yes, MV4 is explaining in the chat why I'm doing this, maybe perhaps more succinctly than I did. Find creepy filth. I can do 1 more creepy filth. That's sad, I'm 1 short. I can do... Oh, wait a minute. Is the other one? No, I don't have any other creepy stuff. Elegant? Do we have any elegant things? Nope. Nasty. One thing I wish they had in the task item carry-all was the ability to sort by level. Because, like, this is level 24, this is level 24, this is level 24, this is level 30, this is level 121. And they're all smushed in here together. But it doesn't matter. I don't know. So, anyway. So, don't have any nasty. Don't have any polished. Oh, good. We have some polished. All right. So, let's do a polished scale. So, polish scale. Here we go. I should do the other one because I did the first one. Okay. Accept that and turn that in. And boom. So I got a little bit more experience, but now it's going to tell me my task limit has been reached, which is fine. So we're done with her doing her task for the day. And then, oh, another cool thing that comes out of this is when you turn in tasks, when you start turning in tasks, there's a quest that comes up that is do 10 tasks. And once you've done them, and it could take you weeks, it doesn't matter, whatever, days, you get this universal optional crafting ingredient, which is nice. So I'm going to put that in my critical items bucket. All right, so we're actually going to switch over to Rosenbloom because she's got the rest of the good stuff. So yeah, so the reason I'm doing this, as before says, doing 15, for him he's doing 15, I'm not doing 15. I'm doing 6 and 8 and whatever. You can get to 15 as a max. But yeah, so doing on-level tasks every day is a great source, if you have the task items for it, is a helpful source of legendary item experience. So that's why I'm doing this, because I want that legendary item experience. So, hey Arthur, no spoilers, but I think those Iron Garrison miners are living on borrowed time. Before it says, because iron rusts. Well, then the Iron Garrison guards would also be living on borrowed time. All right, so here's my cute little house. Everything's still fading in. There we go. One of my cute little houses here. Since we're right here, we'll go ahead and check the boxes. So it's just kind of like a tidying up kind of day, you know, doing the chores. Oh, speaking of, let's see, is anybody in the kinship online? Okay. It is always polite to say hello to your kitties when you show up online. Okay, so I'm now going to ride myself over to the same boards. Although it could be in another neighborhood, actually, but you know. Did this get figured out? Unclaimed allegiance rewards. It's still coming up. So annoying. Before was looking at it the other day trying to figure that out. How am I at with my doodle bubbles? 3 days. Might not be a bad idea to go ahead and talk to Wenda, so I don't forget to do that in 3 days. So we got our subscribers jug, and I'm going to replace that one. Now the one I have is 13 days, so I'm going to throw away the 3 days one. I do. Okay, now let's, because we could do the same thing with Rosenbloom here, because I do have some task board stuff for her too. Although I didn't write down what's ideal for her, but we'll figure it out. And let's zoom over here. Agartha says you have to scroll side scroll to see which reward is unclaimed. Same syndrome as the reward track UI. But I thought I did. So what it was is there was stuff that was not claimed, like it had skipped over some things apparently, but he did go ahead and claim those for me. So I don't know what's going on. It's very strange. Okay, the things that I have a gob ton of, that's 141, and that's 141, and that's 141. So this is fantastic. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I didn't think to look, see if there were gaps. We'll check here in a second. First, let's go ahead and do some task board stuff. And she can do, how many? 10. So as you're going through and you're doing tasks, every time you hit 100, that you've done 100 tasks, it gives you a token that you can use to consume, and then it increases the number of tasks you can do by 1. So normally you can do 5, you take the bauble, now you can do 6. Take the bauble, now you can do 7, and so forth. Well, here, actually, now that there's a chat about this happening. Allegiance, is it under character? Allegiances. Here, we'll go ahead and just open this real quick. Okay, so Agartha was asking, there are multiple allegiance tabs, so like these tabs here down the side. Let me scoot this down so it's easier for y'all to see on the screen. And so, yeah, a weird thing had happened that I was over here and had claimed like 1 and 2, and then like you scrolled over here and I had claimed like 10 and 11 and 12 or whatever. But yeah, the middle, somehow in the middle, there were ones that weren't claimed. So these all say claimed as far as I can tell. Okay, so that's the bottom one. Let's check the middle. Just in case somehow it let me do that on some other place. Oh, here's one. See, look at that. Isn't that weird? It's right in the middle. 24 is an unclaimed, but 23 is, 25 is, 26 is. All right, so we'll take that one. Okay, and let's check the top. Those are done. This is join, this says join, this says join. Okay, maybe that will finally clear that. And I have now completed a deed that was, I think, like, do level 9, whatever. Yeah. Allegiances. That's where I started. Yeah, these two? Yeah. Yeah, so I don't have anything here. It's just that one that I just did. Okay. So hopefully that clears it this time. It's so weird, though, because it shouldn't let you do that, right? It's not allowed to let you skip. But we found another one, so... All right, so let's see if we have what we need here. Sea-tossed skin, absolutely. We could do that. And then salty goo, I see some of that. And corroded cutlass sheaths, yep, we have some of those. And do I have any brine touched? I have the claw. Yeah, let's just do sort by alphabetical then. Do I have the other brine touched item? The ear? Yes, we do. Okay, so I could do all of those. And then there's a King's Gondor one, pitted axe. Let's take a look. Oh, I do have pitted axes. Well, sure, why not? Okay, so I just picked up like everything that they have here. So if you look at like my tasks or my yeah, my quest log, under I think it's nope, not special. Is it task? Oh yeah, here under task are all these things that I've just picked up, and it's got a little check mark next to the ones because I have them on me, which is really cool. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can do 10. So we'll turn in these 6. Oh, and so funny thing is I'm getting reputation with the faction people. We should open this up. And legendary item experience, yay. And then steed experience also, so that's funny. But you see, it's actually moving my bar quite significantly. Like, much more than I see other times when I'm doing things. So that's really exciting. It makes me happy. Okay, so I could do 4 more. Sure, let's do this one because I remember seeing I have a bunch of those, and we haven't gotten to King's Gondor anyway, and that might be useful to have that. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now it pops up saying task limit reached, and then it's like, yeah, so that is totally fine. And I could reset it for 10 mithril coins if I really, really wanted to. Maybe if I got close to the end of the bar, like at the end of the time frame, and I needed just a little bit more, that would be worth it, but not today. Hopefully I'll get there. So yeah, so I'm working towards the teapot, which is at 25. There's a the little jerboa at 50, which is kind of cute looking. But then at 75 is more housing stuff, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to check that out. I haven't seen any screenshots or anything, though. All right, so I want to go to my other house, which is the one at Wellforth Way, because we're going to do a little decorating. Oh, check it out. I've still got that willow thing going on when I do a travel skill. Not the guide to skills, not the ones that you get as a hunter, but the other ones. Yeah, before it says maybe they added something to the track after I claimed things, and so it was unclaimed. I don't know how that worked. It shouldn't be allowed to do that, but whatever. Oh, right, I've got the snow thing on here. You know, I think I'm not really wanting it to be snowing at my house right now. So we're gonna take off. So what it's like giving me the this effect at my house right now. But that's not what I want. So we're gonna do some house decorating. Need to find the ambient environment. That's you. So currently I have Forgel on there. That's why. So, oh, let me just shove these things down. Okay, so we don't want that. So what do I want is the excellent question of the day. Open my shared storage, and if I go down to my housing, so this is where I've got like a lot of good housing stuff. I also have my carryalls, which I started trying to like separate things out a little bit, but I didn't get very far on that. Oh, Hobbit with a pipe, that should go here. And I got the dragon pit, the fire pit, the dragon sword. I didn't get those out yet. And the green dragon in bar, we want to put that out. And then I think there were a couple things. I went ahead and made a bucket on mine called on stream, because there's times when I'm like, oh, I want to do that on stream, and then I hang on to it, and then I forget about it. So okay, so here's something I wanted to do. Oh, it just sucked those into the housing bucket. Oh well, it's fine. I meant to keep those out, but it's okay. We'll find them again. So right now there's like every, I don't know, time period, epoch, there's stuff in those steel-bound loot boxes that is like a theme of some sort. And right now it's the what is Willem Whisker? The Lynx. They're very cat themed. And there's like a couch you can get, and you can't get it from the lady, the curator, because from what I understand, although she is coming back here really soon. But anyway, so I thought I have 2 black steel keys, and I thought I would use them on these boxes and see what we get. So actually I could go out of decoration, but we don't need to do that for that. So let's take a look. Oh, today, Lashire thinks the curator might be back today. Well, let's just pop over there and have a quick look then, see if she's there. Let me go to the Lalia's market. Yeah, that's a great point. What's the schedule like? Where's the schedule? Let me just pull that up. And today is July 2nd. Curator returns at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Well, it's after that now. So yeah, she should be out there. Let's go take a look. Thanks for the reminder. Oh. There's a crowd of people by the boar fountain. She must be here. Pokemaze. Hey there, how are you doing? I am good. We are very excited because the curator has arrived. Look, I love her outfit. Check out that dress. That is so cool. I like the lace kind of stuff going on. Well, it's not lace, but it's filigree. It's not filigree. Whatever. I like it. Okay, let's see what she's got.
Greetings.
Whoa, she's loud. There should be a current theme. Yeah, Forest Defender. I think that's... And let me scoot my dressing stuff over and her stuff over. And... Yeah, Hobbit was like wondering and said it was the second. Yeah, it is today. Because this is, I believe... No, that isn't it. Not Forest Defender's not the right name. Take that outfit off, you silly Hobbit. Grey Mountain Elite. Grey Mountain Elite. Excuse me. Grey Mountain Heavy Stalwart. Nope, that's not it. Grey Mountains. Slayer. Riding trousers. Top hat. The Bright Company stuff. Sunset Hills. Do we know this outfit? Let's look up this one real quick. Oh, what's this one? Oh, that's that dress. Okay. Let's try the Sunset Hills outfit. Which one's this? Oh. That's that one. Very dwarvish. And the Wild Hills, I think, is also dwarvish then. So the first set of stuff we were looking at, that was very elfish. This is very dwarfish. Okay. That's not what we're looking for either. Cloak of the Wise Wanderer? Oh, that's the fluffy one. Oh, awesome. Let's see. Pokemon says, I have to say, I discovered this game for the first time 2 days ago, and I love it, having so much fun playing. Oh, that's fantastic. Yay. Well, welcome. Loshire watched some of your stream, I think. So the community is amazing and has helped me so much. That's awesome. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, the community, the Locho community is really awesome. It's something that keeps me around for sure because I just really love the community. Okay, now we're into the housing stuff. Okay, so maybe she doesn't have the theme stuff. She's got horses and stuff, though, that I don't have. Well, ponies in my case. And some pets that I don't have, but that's okay. And, oh, these are new. That's okay. All right, so I guess that's not what I was looking for. Then, hang on, let me go talk to her friend who would be standing over here, Myrtle Mint. Hey, Myrtle, what's up?
What can I do for you today?
This is it, the Silent Hunter. That's what I was trying to find. Oops, ignore those boots. So this is the Silent Hunter outfit, and it's got, like, cat paws, and it's got, like, the little cat thing on the shoulder, and little cat paw on the belt. Belt buckle, and so there's furniture that also matches, but not all of it's available. So like there's a tapestry, which I have, I did get that, and I didn't get the rugs because I just find that that's really kind of weird. Okay, so all right, we're going back to the house. That was a good diversion. And now I know the curator's there. The curator, by the way, is, she only comes around once in a while. So you have like these three over here that change, that are, I consider them cousins, because they all have a similar naming thing going on. So you've got Myrtle Mint and Figment, Filbert Fig, and who's the other, what's her other, there's another woman. Myrtle Mint, Filbert Fig. Now I'm stuck on like cinnamon. That's not right. Rowan raspberry. Thank you. So they all got that food theme going on. And they each have a separate, distinct set of things that you can get from them. And they rotate, so there's only one of them here at a time. Like, I don't know, maybe they've got family they got to take care of, and only one can hang out, and the other two got to stay home. But then the curator comes and goes, and she always has
What can I do for you?
a specific set of stuff. And so, like, one of the things that's really nice to get from her is in the housing decorations is the pet harness. That allows you to take a pet that you have out of your pet collection. So, for example, I have this adorable sicklefly. I don't think that I would do that one. Perhaps I have this adorable badger. And so I could take the pet harness and my badger, and by their powers combined, could make a third new thing, which is a housing decoration that is a badger. And the I would put that in my yard and the or my house, and the badger would kind of like wander around a little bit. But it is a housing decoration. So that is a really neat thing that you can do. And only the curator has those pet harnesses. They go into your wallet, and I currently have 3 of them, so I don't need to buy another one right now. Then the second thing is the steed halter. It's the same idea, but it takes one of your mounts that you own, and you can buy its powers combined, take your steed halter and a mount that you own, and together they combine and make a third item that you then can use as a housing decoration on those posts that you have at your house. So yeah, so and the curator is the only person who carries those things. So that's why people get really excited. Plus she's got other things like the fish pond's really cool, the visiting barber's really nice. And then she's got some other housing decorations that you can only get from her. So the training dummy stand, that used to be really popular. Alabaster planter with sunflowers is nice. Okay, I don't think I need anything that she has right now, though. So we're going to pop back to our house. So, Poke Base, we're not doing anything terribly, like, I don't know, exciting or instructive today. It's kind of a smorgasbord of things that we're doing today. I did some task board stuff because I want to get legendary item experience, and that helps me get that. Oh yeah, so like I was talking about the harness. Let's go into decorating mode. There we go. So these hitching posts, that's how I got these horses on here, or ponies, because I used a hitching post plus a pony that I already have and combined them to make this housing decoration, which I then attached to a hitching post. And that's why they're standing there, and that's why this one's standing here. You can see they're standing at the hitching post. But once I put this away, you don't see the post. It just looks like they're standing around, which is kind of cool. Funny thing I discovered, some of you may not have noticed this before, but okay, so hobbits and dwarves and stout axe dwarves, and river hobbits, we all ride ponies because we're the shorter folks. And then the taller folks, so elves, race of man, Bjornings, all of those folks, they ride horses. If your character is a hobbit or one of the short folk, you get a pony when you do this. If you do it with one of the tall folks, you get a horse. So you could actually, I've done this before where I had a character, they both had, I think it was this one actually, the steed of the Shimmering Breeze. And so I got one that's pony sized, and then I had one of my tall folks make it, and it was horse sized. And so you could have them both out in your stuff. It's really cool. Dogs ask if you unhitch it, do you get the hitching post back? You don't. It is a permanent thing that you have made, a permanent housing item that you have created, but you do get the housing item out of the spot. So, for example, this this steed of the Shimmering Breeze here, it says hitching post. It just says mount decoration. It doesn't really give you a lot of information there, but I can take that off, and there it shows me that it is a steed of the Shimmering Breeze. And then you kind of have to realize that it's not amount that you're trying to consume to be able to use, you can see it's blinking because I've got this hitching post and it's like, aha, this is an item that can go into this spot. And then if you hover over it, it tells you things like a normal housing decoration. So decoration category, hitching post or mobile hitching post. Player created mount decoration. Yeah, so now I can just put it back into the slot and he's facing the wall because for some reason that's the default, but I'll go ahead and turn him back out this way. And then to save it. Are you serious? Come on now. All right, sometimes they are a little wonky, so we'll do that again. There we go. There we go. That time it saved, so. Ta-da! Now I've got my pony back in its spot. Lizardin, I like the housing topic. Hey, you're welcome, dogs. No problem. Yay, thanks. And hello, Lizardin. Good to see you. Okay, so I had a couple of things I wanted to do today with the housing. Okay, so we didn't find the housing decor that I wanted, which was the couch that I've heard of, but I haven't seen. So I'm going to use my character bound steel key. And then, okay, so I just right clicked on it. And what it does is it's like select loot box to unlock. And because I have those two in my inventory, that's why it knows about that. If I didn't have them in my inventory, it'd be like, what do you want to do? Like there's nothing here. This box would be empty. But I'll go ahead and apply. We'll open this and it says proceeding will consume your key. Continue. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. We're just going to go ahead and do it. And then we get stuff. Okay, so what we got, and it does show up in your general tab also. And then this cute little box shows up, which I find handy. So I got the Swift Gauges of the Traveler. So I got some gloves. I got the boots of the Silent Hunter, which we were just looking at over at the Myrtle Mint. 3 universal ingredient packs and 120 motes of enchantment. Fair point. You'll want to make sure you've got some room between your motes of enchantment and your figments of splendor and your other thingies, the embers of enchantment. You want to make sure you got some room there because if you get that and it goes over, I think you're just out of luck. I think it hits that 10,000 cap and it's like, meh, they just poof into the air. So, okay, so that did not get us what we wanted. We'll try one more. Now, if I click on the loot box, it also comes up and it's like, it gives me that same window. So you could do it either way. And then I'll hit apply and it's still going to say, hey, proceeding's going to consume your key. You want to continue? I'm like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Okay, what did we get? We got the Mask of the Silent Hunter. I don't think we saw that. Isn't that cute? Maybe we did, but I don't know. That's cute. Okay, so that's going in my wardrobe. We got some morale potions. I got a meaningful locket of the Traveler, so another thing to help me in combat, and some more motes of enchantment. Well, let's go ahead and open up the wardrobe. Oh, we'll hit OK for that, thanks. And we'll drop in that little mask, just in case I decide I do want to wear it. Yeah. Okay, so we got a few things. I don't know. I think we'll just pop that down. So I want to probably put this ambient environment. I don't know. I'm of multiple minds there. I think I'll just put it in my shared storage back into the housing spot. I was debating whether to put it inside the house because this would probably be the house I would put it on, but it might not be, and so I don't want to limit myself. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, so we were going to, what did I get? I was gonna put out, so I was trying to make one of these be like seasonal stuff and things that I don't like really care as much about, but for some reason I can't get rid of because I'm just a sucker for things. But I did want to check out these wintry lantern posts. I thought that sounded cool. Oh, yeah, and I got this large potted flowering jacaranda and a large potted wisteria. Hanging instrument. Oh, yeah, and then I got some hanging instrument racks that I thought might be fun, although I might put those at the other house. And then we got some fire pits, which don't really go well with this house. And okay, and then what do I have over here? So in this one, I've kind of got like the things that all of my characters get when I log in. But not the autumnal apple tree. We'll hang on to that. Ship shelf, ship stuff. I think the ship stuff we're not worried about. I think we decided we didn't want to put that out right now. Okay, so I think that's a good start. So I want to start with the trees because I was thinking maybe this tree stays. I'm not sure, but I think I want to undo my entrance. This one is the large white flowering spring tree. It's very pretty, right? I do like it. But with it being all white, it makes me think of winter. And then we've got the small grove of flowering spring trees. So we definitely got the spring thing going on. But I've still got my Yule stuff over here. And the idea was because this is the entrance to all of my Yule stuff. So for those of you who haven't seen my house, I have kind of different themes going on throughout the house. And in this door, this is the Yule themed area. So we've got like a bunch of Yule stuff over here. And I've got the Yule wall, and then we've got a bunch of Yule stuff over here. So this is definitely my Yule themed area. So that's why on the outside, I have these Yule trees as kind of like, you know, by the by, this is what you're about to run into. But I've decided that for the summer, I think I want to go ahead and replace the trees. So let's pick a different tree. Oh yeah, let's try this one. Whoa, that's huge. Okay, maybe we move it away from the house a little? Yeah, what do we think? Wow, that is ginormous. I had no idea it was so big. That might be really good there. Okay, hang on. Oh, it's giving me grief. All right, we'll leave that for a second, and now let's try the snowy pine tree. And we'll replace that with the wisteria. Wow, that's also quite huge. Oh my goodness. So I think if we're doing the potted thing, do I want that closer to the house? Do I like it out here in the middle? Let's take a look. Yeah, Liz Arden says, I saw the curator's about to return and they have the housing item where you can place your pet as decoration. We were talking about that just a few minutes ago. I love that. I have like 3 of the pet halters, pet harnesses. It's the pet ones, the first one in the list. And that's really, they're fun. I don't currently have anything like that, but man, I was at a Hobbit party and they had done a whole bunch of their in-house things as pets. And so the house just had pets like all over the place. It was fantastic. I was like, gosh, that was perfect theme. Okay, I definitely want this more in the center. Let's see if it'll let me put it there. Let's see what we can do. Because I want it like here and then like here. It won't let me save. It thinks I'm putting it too far away from my excuse me, from my house hook, but I disagree. I think it's not encroaching on anybody else's yard. It's not even close to anybody else's yard. I am still squarely within my own yard. So I think this is good. Okay, so, wow, yeah. That is some towering tree action though, isn't it? Look at that. That is huge. Makes that other one look teeny by comparison. The wisteria. Well, this is cool though, because my house is starting to get really heavily populated with trees back there though. All right, I think we're going to go with this for now. I might do some other tree arrangement in the future. Like, for example, I could do with a tree over here, actually. But then you get to a point where you can't see the house anymore, and do I want that? Maybe. Because what if I... What's in this one? Okay. And this one? Oh, yeah, okay. Excuse me. What if I switch out this? And we'll put this in that spot. Oops, I gotta pull it out. And if we put the white tree over here... Oops. Then we have some tree on this side, and maybe we scoot it back a little bit. Yeah, that's as far as it'll let me go. And then I really wanted to get out, are these the same, both identical? Fire pit. Fire pit, yeah, I got them both the same thing, which is that one, but I kind of wanted that on the other side. Well, maybe I could put it up against, see, it just seems weird sitting out all over by itself. Oh, but what if it was by the trees? Maybe that might be okay. Oops, I didn't mean to put it underground. Oh, I guess it's not underground, it's just doing something weird. And then turn it around and put it, I guess that's as good as it's gonna get. That's okay. Yeah, Liz Harden says carry-outs for housing items were made for folks like you. Absolutely. I have a small housing carry-all on, I think over on Treebeard. Look at this guy. He breathes fire. It's so cute. And sometimes people are like, why would you want a small carry-out? But it's perfect for the items that you get, all of your characters get when you log in. So like when you make a new character, oops, that's not what I meant to do. Let's see, oh no, I think it's this one. When you make a new character, for me, when I make a new character, I get the river folk stuff because I bought the river folk expansion, right? And so every one of them comes in with river folk chairs and river folk tapestries and what else do I get? Like all those river folk things and the ancestors, the little hanging wall thing, and the river folk bed. And it's so great because they stack in these carry-alls. And so I'm like, boom, 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 boom. So, yeah. Dogs asked, do the pets and horses move about when hitched? I thought at one point the horses were doing some animations, but, oh yeah, this guy's tail's moving. I thought sometimes they go, you know, like horses do. Oh yeah, his ears are twitching over here. And I know the cats, like, yeah, the animals will like move around a little bit. Sometimes they like wiggle their tails or something, or they walk a few steps. It's different for the different things. I can't remember all of what. Yeah, but yes, there's little animation if nothing else. Lizard and asks if when you're moving objects in decoration mode, can others see that? Not exactly, but if they are where you are doing things, I do recall that sometimes it can like be weird. Like you try to put something and then now somebody's stuck inside of a house or something. And that can be problematic. It usually happens when I'm trying to move something and I'm in the way, more than other stuff though. Okay, I think that's the outdoor stuff I wanted to do. There's a couple of indoor things I wanted to do. So the problem I'm going to run into here though is that, so I've used all the hooks in this front section already. And in fact, I think I borrowed some. And then from other rooms. And then I've used all the hooks here. So I can't borrow anything from here. This room needs redone still a little bit, but we're getting closer. But I think I've used a lot of hooks from here anyway. So I need to go. So this is the room that I'm trying to make it into like a, you know, social hanging out kind of place. And yeah, I've used so many of these hooks already. Oh, this one I stole from another room. Okay. And I'm assuming, well, that's a wall. I don't think, oh, I do have wall stuff. Oh, fantastic. How many wall hooks do I have in here that I haven't used? Okay, one. All right. Oh, what about this guy? Have I used this one? Oh yeah, of course I have. And this one's the floor. That's that. Yeah, okay. And I assume that's the keg. Yep. And that's probably the other keg. Yep. And this one. I found another empty one. Okay. Awesome. So this could be the, I could extend the bar. You know, I think I'll do that for now. And, oops, let me see. Yeah, put it out there. So like in this case, see how I'm kind of here, and if I were, see how it's like glitching a little bit if I'm in the space where I'm trying to put it? So it doesn't like that. So that's where like you have to be kind of careful about where you're setting things if somebody's standing in the way. Oops, I just sent that somewhere else. Didn't mean to do that. Let's try and move that back. I was wondering if I could have like the bar at an angle. That's kind of fun. Do they? Well, they kind of blend together. All right, let's try that. That looks kind of cute, doesn't it? It looks like it was on purpose. Yay! Okay. So then I just have to decide eventually what I'm doing with these tables and things. Like, do I like them in this kind of like V formation? Still got to get some rugs. I know I say this every time. But okay, so here's a cool thing. I got a couple of things. I got a hobbit with a pipe for as a wall decoration. And have I used all my walls here? Wait, no, I don't want to touch the fire, but I want to touch the wall. Oh, well, then what's the other wall? Reminds me of that joke as a kid. It's like, is Mr. Wall there? No. Is Mrs. Wall there? No. Are there any walls there? No. Well, then what's holding your roof up? Oh. Wow, did I use all of the... I probably did. Here's a wall hook. Okay, so I've got... Oh, Pokemon says, I can't wait to get my first house. Yes, houses are... I find housing so much fun. If you're interested in watching long videos about housing, I have some. You'll be shocked to know. Let's see if I can, or if B4 can snag those for me. Okay, so this hobbit with a pipe, we're not going to have him just hovering in midair. We're going to actually try and put him on the wall over there. Thank you. He's such awesome. So yeah, so I did, when Erebor housing was coming out, so Pokevis, I know you're new, so I don't know how much housing knowledge you have yet, but basically there's standard housing and there's premium housing. And standard housing was what came out first, and you could only have one standard house. And it's based on the 4 initial races of the game, so elves, hobbits, we're going to save that before I mess it up. So elves, hobbits, dwarves, and race of man. And so I did kind of a tour of those to kind of show you the different types of housing. So, because you can own any kind of house that you want. For example, I'm a hobbit, but I could own a house in Bree land if I wanted to. But I only get to own one house in total out of those 4 types. So, so you have to choose. But if you choose and you decide like later on, you're like, oh, this doesn't really suit me, or I want that house instead of this house, or whatever, you can abandon your house, which means you literally just like toss the keys in the door and walk away, like metaphorically, and any upkeep that you have paid. So houses do require some upkeep. So for example, I have a house in the Shire homesteads, as you are probably not surprised, and if I look at my house information, it tells me my neighborhood. So I'm in the Brambleberry neighborhood in the Shire homesteads. It is a deluxe house. There's deluxe and there's standard. There's too many words that are the same words. Just roll with it. And it tells me which of my characters is the owner of the house. But all of my characters have access to the house. It's a shared house among all of my characters. But whoever actually was like logged in and put the money down to buy it is the owner. And I did purchase it for 7 gold and 700 silver. It tells you that right there. If I go down to the bottom and it says maintenance, it tells me my house has, every week upkeep is deducted. And so every week it deducts, what does it tell me? Oh yeah, 165 probably, 165 silver. Which after you've been playing for a while, that's not a lot, and it's easy to keep up. But when you're first starting, it can feel like an overwhelming amount. So, just kind of keep that in mind when you're getting started. And then you can prepay your upkeep up to 6 months in advance. So I can do this little slider and be like, oh, play. Okay, I've kind of kept it up, but like it's used up 4 weeks of it since I topped it off. So I can go ahead and deposit additional upkeep of the in-game money. I can also pay Mithril, but I absolutely will not pay Mithril for this. That's a silly thing to do when I can just use this money that I found lying in my couch. So I could just click that, and now my upkeep is topped up, and it tells me the next one's going to be deducted from my account in 6 days and 18 hours. And now if I don't pay it, never come back again, just we're like, never mind, I'm not paying upkeep ever again, it will lock me out of my house eventually. And it tells me when it will do that. And so it's telling me that would be January 7th if I were to do that. So that's a normal house. Then there's premium housing, which is a whole different thing. So let's see. What's that? Lizardin says, I like how for new housing items they added more freedom regarding which type of hooks you could place them in. Oh, I know, right? Wish they'd make all hooks universal. Yeah, I'm pleased that the changes as they are. But I know, right? Pokemon. So what people are talking about is that this thing here that says furniture. There used to be like large furniture, large floor, small floor. Like things were parceled out into many more categories than they are now. And now it's basically like, is it furniture? Yes or no? Bam. There's furniture, wall, floor. Those are mostly it. Once in a while, there's other things. Like this fire pit, but it's special. So, okay. So, yeah. Excellent question there. So, excuse me. Lizardin says, I thought VIPs don't need to pay for housing maintenance. That is true in, but it's not. It does not apply to the original standard housings. So the ones on the Shire, Breeland, the dwarves up by Thorin's Hall, and the elves down in Valathorn homesteads, those don't count. Everybody has to pay upkeep on those. And that also applies, I think, to the kin house, although now I'm doubting that. Are you on Treebeard right now?
Yes.
Can you check our kin house?
I just paid for 4 upkeeps for
Oh.
1 gold for 200 silver.
Okay, so yes, okay, so because our kin house on Treebeard is in the Shire. It's not a premium house. So we do have to pay upkeep on that also. So yeah, so it does apply to everything in those neighborhoods. But as Lizardin does allude to, though, there are other things called premium houses. Those are a whole separate way of paying, and definitely watch the video for that. But basically, to buy a house in the game, you know what? Okay, we're just gonna pop over there real quick. It's easier if I show you. So we're gonna take another field trip real quick. This is why I'm like, I'll just go half an hour, and then 2 hours later, I'm still here. Mm-hmm. You all know how to get me talking. Let's talk housing, and I'm like, I'm like cold schmold, whatever. Okay, I am using. By the way, Pokebase, you may not know this yet, but there's this cool little travel skill I just used called Travel to Lalia's Market, and it takes me really in the middle of Bree. So inside, I'll just show you inside real quick, and then I'll go outside so you know where I'm at. Inside, there's this little lady here, Lalia, Mithril Trader,
Need something.
and the very first thing she has is Return to Lalia's Market. It'll cost you 3 Mithril coins. It is absolutely worth it. It's a fantastic travel skill. It does share the cooldown with some of your other travel skills. I'm using a plugin here. Actually, hang on. I'm not seeing it sharing with anything else. Maybe it's a solo thing. It might not share cooldowns with anything else. And there's 2 entrances to get into Lalia's Market. And one of them is right here by the Boar Fountain, where we were just a little while ago. Yes, Lalia, the dead prince stalker, poor thing. So there's the Boar Fountain with all these people gathered around. And then the entrance to Lalia's Market is right there. And then there's another one up the street a little bit here on your way to the Prancing Pony. So, oh, okay, because it's milestones. Milestones do share the cooldowns. But Lalia's Mark is not a milestone, so it's got its own thing. I didn't realize it was its own category. That's so cool. So when premium housing first came out, and this will be a review, you'll see this again in the videos, but basically when premium housing first came out, there was only one, and it was in the Cape of Belfast, and it's Race of Man themed, and it's very like marble, like white marble everywhere, and like these tall columns, and it's very austere and large and kind of thing. And the way to purchase a house was to talk to this housing broker right here. She was located a couple places throughout Middle Earth, but this was the most common place you'd go to find her because the Boar Fountain's in the middle of Bree, and everybody ends up in Bree. So you would click on purchase a house, and it shows you all of the neighborhoods in which there is a house for sale. And then, excuse me, of those houses that are for sale, it'll tell you. So like if I click on, let's pick one that's got a few things. Oh, how funny. All the stately houses are gone. Here we go. Well, that's fine. So if I click on like this neighborhood, it'll show me, hey, there's one stately house for sale, and that's this one. And if I click on it, it will tell me more about it. So it cost 243 mithril or 10 housing writs. The upkeep cost, or that every week cost, is 1 gold. But here it says upkeep is waived for VIP house owners and leaders. And leaders is because there are kin houses that you can purchase at the Belfalas homesteads. And then it tells you how much you have. So like, would you be able to buy this? Yes or no, whatever. And so you can kind of see the different houses, and it'll show you how much they cost. There's also really great tables out on the Lotro wiki. So if you just want to see them all in one block, you can easily go and do that. And these fall into a couple different categories. This is a stately house. This is a luxurious house. So each of the different types of premium housing has more than one kind of house, and then they have names like that, like luxurious or whatever, stately, etc. So if you want to just buy it straight out, you can buy it straight out from her. You can also do this thing called Tour House, which allows you, it will teleport you directly to that house, and then you can choose whether or not you want to buy it. That was also a shortcut way to get to that neighborhood if you were like meeting people for a party or you needed to be in the area for some reason. So after a while, though, there was the brokers for the Cape of Belfalas, and then Rohan premium housing came along, and there was 2 different styles for that. So you had 2 brokers for that, and then Erebor housing came along, and so you had a dwarf for the broker for that, and then you another set of housing, excuse me, came up in Lindleby, which is very Hobbit themed, and that's where we just were. So they were like, hey, what if we just put all the brokers together in one spot to make this easier for people? So that's what they did. So here in Bree, so I'm in Bree, I'm here in the middle by the Boar Fountain, and I'm going to ride south as if I'm going to go to the mayor's office. If you haven't been to the mayor's office yet, don't worry about it, but you will soon because you'll get a quest to send you there, or 2. Anyway, so the mayor's office is down here in this kind of like grassy little, I don't know, like little central area. And the Bree Town Hall is there and the mayor's inside. But we want to go past his place, so past this kind of point. So there's this point that we're at here. On the other side of the point, so like if we just kind of kept rolling and kept going straight, there's this thing called the broker's office. So I'm right here pointing at this thing right here. That's where you want to go if you want to see all of the brokers together. Now, it's gotten a bit crowded in here. So there's the lady we were just talking to at the Boar Fountain. But now you've got, let me take names off for a minute just to make this a little easier. So now we've got, as you see, a whole array of people hanging out in here. And next to each one of these people is a book. And the reason for that is some housing neighborhoods will sell out and there'll be no other houses available in that neighborhood. But maybe somebody's having a party. And so you're like, well, I need to get to, Google Booble neighborhood, but there's no houses for me to teleport to and do a tour so I can get to that neighborhood. That's when they came up with this idea of these ledgers that are sitting on the table, and it has every single neighborhood listed. So for Shire Homesteads, every neighborhood in Shire Homesteads on this server is listed here. Um, so, for example, I live in Bramblebury. If I were to talk to the broker, who's the guy standing right here, and I look up Bramblebury, I would expect. Oh, there are 2 houses for sale currently. Usually, there's no houses for sale because we end up just grabbing them with alts and holding on to them. Actually, yeah. So anyway, so a lot of times you'll find that a neighborhood you're trying to get to is you can't get to, so you just use the ledger to get there instead. Anyway, so all the brokers are here for both the regular housing. It's a little hard to read. I apologize. I'm trying to, it's like it's not easy to find the thing, but the yellow names are what you're looking for. So this guy is your Mickle Delving housing broker. That's your standard housing. Yeah, Breeland lady there. Dooland is the elves. This is the standard housing, and then the Thorns Hall guy is there. And then if you want to go to premium housing, Rohan lady is there. The other Rohan lady is sitting at the desk. If you want to go to Erebor Dwarven housing, it looks very green and it has a river of gold that you can swim through. That's really cool. He is right there. And then if you want to get to Lindleby housing, which is my favorite, our little lady is back here hiding under all these words. So much going on in the space. I really wish they'd kind of open up the space a little bit and space these people out because it's really quite hard to read. The reason why some of these people have rings over their head is because they do have quests that you can go and do and earn stuff. So yeah. Anyway, so Lizarden says, I didn't know that there are different categories of travel skills in terms of cooldown. How it goes with the store items that reduce cooldown. Yeah, so there's 3 different categories of cooldowns in the store, and that they overlap in kind of a Venn diagram sort of way. And I'm probably not going to explain this very well, but let me see if I can. So we have travel skills, and these are listed, these are my guide to skills, the hunter skills that I have, but it also includes my travel to premium house and other things like that. And then you've got your wayfaring. No, that's not. No, that's just hunter. Sorry. Milestone skills, which are another category here. So like return to. Those are my milestones. I've bought a handful of them on this character. But then I've also got, let's see, I've got my guide to skills. Those are my hunter skills. I've got the Lalia's Market. That one's separate. Yeah, and then I've got my return to skills. Those are my milestone skills. And then I've got my travel to personal house. So the housing ones, personal house. No, that one's they're its own. Yeah, I would say the wiki is the place to see the different categories at best. But basically, what I did is I bought one of those reductions. Because, okay, so Pokebase, normally your travel skills by default are a 1-hour cooldown, which is nice to get started for sure. But you find that, like, if you're questing in an area and you set a milestone there, and then you're like, go and you go do the things, and then you're like, I need to get back. You want to just milestone back. Well, you got to wait an hour or you ride yourself back, which is fine, whatever. But basically what I did is I bought one of the travel skill cooldowns, and it reduced a whole bunch of my skills from 1 hour. It reduced it by 30 minutes. So then they were 30-minute cooldowns. And then there's another one that reduces them by 25 minutes. So the ones that overlapped between the first one and the second one, they had been reduced by 30 and 25, so they were 5 minutes. And then I bought the third one that was also a 30 or a 25. So basically, so then everything was down to the 5-minute cooldown. So that's the easiest way to do it. Now, Pokebase, what I will tell you, though, is that every week in the Lotro store, there are sales. In fact, what's the sales like right now? I forgot. There's some summer sales, but that's a special category right now. Let me see what's on sale right now. Infamy, monster stuff. But then there's also loot box keys, which I don't recommend buying necessarily unless you're looking for something specific like that. Universal morale and power potions, deed boosts, universal solvents. Okay, so nothing that would be that I'm like, whoa, get on this right now. But if you go into the Lotro store, what I do is I keep an eye on those sales, and they change on Thursdays. So I'm like, okay, oh, actually, I did want some of this infamy and renown gain. I think I did want that. We'll look at, yeah, I'll have to talk to before, see if that's what I was looking for. If you're like, oh, this is something I want to keep an eye on, you can put a star next to it and just kind of remind yourself, hey, this is something I want in the future. And then you can look at all your starred items by clicking on the star at the top. And then when things come up for sale. So, for example, there are milestone skills that I have not bought for this character yet, and they would be really handy to have. So, what I will do is, so when Lotra points are on sale, and I think this is what, yeah. So, Egg Arthur is saying you can double dip. Basically, buy the Lotra points when they're on sale. Then use it to buy the Mithril coins when they're on sale, and you can barter with Mithril coins for the travel skill upgrades. Or what I do is I buy the Lotra points when they're on sale, and then I wait till like milestone skills go on sale when they'll be like 35% off, and then I buy them when they're on sale. So that's what I would recommend you do, is keep an eye out for the travel skills sales, because they do come around periodically, like more than once a year, and get those when they come around on sale, because that's the great place to do that. Are the cooldown reductions for all account? No, they're per character. So every time you start a new character, you gotta start her not like all over again. Yeah, I wish. Oh my gosh, that would be amazing if there was a way to buy like account wide cooldowns for. Oh my, that would be really cool. That is something though to point out that Pokemon, some things are account wide and some things are character specific. Cooldown skills are character specific, but account wide though, like slots and storage, if you buy, this isn't a good example because I don't have any available. But for me, I have gone and waited for when things were on sale. So shared storage is account wide. So every time I increased my shared storage, it increased my shared storage for all of my characters on all of the servers that I play on from now until forever. So that's really handy. And the same thing for the wardrobe. Every time you buy a wardrobe upgrade, that applies to all, that's account wide. But when you look at character vault, that is character specific. And so you'll have to do that for each of your characters separately if you want to do that. What I do is I'll just use the in-game money that I earn by questing and stuff, and I will increase my storage as far as I can go with that. But then I often don't bother, and and then I just get really annoyed at my storage. But anyway. Agartha says, I think the Mithril Trader is usually a better deal for milestones too. Lizardin asks, can you dye clothes saved in the wardrobe? Absolutely. That is, in fact, one of the amazing things about the wardrobe that makes me very happy to use the wardrobe repeatedly. So, for example, let me find... So there's a lot of drop-downs here that you can play with. So color... Let me see what I've dyed rose, because I dyed a lot of things. Or purple. Okay. So... also, if you hold control and you click on something, it'll open what you're looking at in the wardrobe. So that's fun. Okay, so this dress of the entwining vines, is it? Blossoms. Dress of the entwining blossoms. So I'm clicked on, so if I go down here to the color, down here at the bottom is the color selection. And I'm going to click on default and then click on it again. So this is what it looks like when you buy it. This is what it normally is. And then I have dyed this thing so many different colors because I find it is super useful. Actually, the hat that I'm wearing also, hang on a second, I'll show you the hat because I do a lot with this hat. That's the wide brim spring hat, that's right. let me go back to all, and we'll just look up this hat. Okay, so the wide brimmed spring hat that I'm wearing with this character, I have dyed it dark green, gold, and sea blue. So if I, for example, go into my shared storage, because that's where my dye carryall is. Yes, I am a carryall nut. Okay, here's my dye carryall. So let's say I take one of the dyes out. Let's see, what did I say I had dyed it already? Dark green, gold, and sea blue. So I haven't dyed it. I don't know, what's a color that we could do? Let me just see what I've got a ton of. Red? This character doesn't really wear red. Oh, she doesn't wear yellow either. All right, we'll just dye it red. It's fine. So let me pull out some red dye. Okay, so what I can do is I can... Yes, the capacity of your wardrobe is enough to dress a small town. So the sister of this character, so this character is Rose and Bloom, and the sister of her is Adamantia. And my kind of her character profile involves the fact that she basically learned how to play with dyes, and she learned how to play with dresses, and somehow she's like a farmer. The whole family are farmers, but yet she doesn't manage to like get her stuff dirty ever. Like she's always looks pristine in these fancy dresses that she dyes, and she has so much fun with it. So anyway, so these dyes are all made by her because she's a scholar. I guess that doesn't matter anymore. You can be whatever you want. Anyway, so this hat, I'm going to dye it red. So I look at the dye, I right click on the dye. Now it's saying pick a target. So you'll notice there are things in my inventory that I could dye them, but I don't want to. I want to do it in the wardrobe. So I'm going to click on the hat, and it's like, are you sure you wish to add the red dye to the wide brim spring hat? Yes. So it will consume one dye. And now, if I click on the thing and I look at the list, it'll tell me dark green, default, gold, red, and sea blue. So if I pick the red and then I click on it, it'll show me that's what it looks like. One of the options that I have when I'm equipping it. Now, if I want to see it ahead of time, in this dressing room is where you could do that. So I can, go and look through the different colors. So if I'm like, well, how is forest green going to look? Okay, well, how about the Shire Peach? Shire Peach I like. It's got this kind of like dusty look to it. What about dark clay? What does that look like? So I can look at them ahead of time before I spend the dye if I don't want to spend the dye on that. So that's the reason why I put the clothing first in the wardrobe and then I dye it. Because by putting it in the wardrobe first, it has its default color embedded in it, and then any other dyes that I add to it. And because my wardrobe is accessible by all of my characters on this server, I am able to really share that wealth across all of my characters that are on this server. So there are different color schemes that my characters use. For example, this character, she is a lot more in the greens, and like the vibrant blues, but kind of muted. She's in a green there. So she's in the kind of the bolder colors, versions of colors, and a lot of green. She wears a lot of green. Adamantia, the sister, she wears a lot of purples and pinks. Technically, the color is called Rose, which is kind of an inside joke that she dyes her clothes Rose, and her sister's named Rose. So it's kind of funny. Yes, the wide hats are popular among Hobbit ladies. Well, it's really good to keep the sun out of your eyes when you're farming. So now, if I were to dye something in my possession and then I put it in the wardrobe, it will take that dye with it. It will not take the default color with it, because the default color's been overwritten by me doing it in my bags. So that's another reason why I do it first in the wardrobe, and then I put the item in the wardrobe and then I dye it, because then I could just keep dyeing it and add more and more dyes to it. And with my other character being a scholar, I can often just keep making more dyes, so it works out. Yeah, Lizard says it's cool that there's a list of dyed versions. I am really glad that they have that list of all the different dyes. Um, I don't know, like from a technicality perspective, but I would love to see like in this collections idea, like where you have your pets and your mounts and your emotes. Um, I wish there was basically a collections panel for all the different wardrobe items that you could have. And then I could just be like basically unlock the dyes here by applying the dyes, you know? It just seems like it'd be easier on the server side than having to do it all on the having all this stuff saved here, but whatever. Anyway, Patty McGinty says, "Is the background you got when you pull up your character part of your UI mod?" Yeah. You're talking about like the greens and the vines and all of that. That is part of the UI skin that I have. Um, if you what is it? Shift O? Nay, that's not right. Where is options? That's Control O. That's Control O. Takes you to the options menu. You can also get to it by the little caret down at the bottom underneath me here, and go to character and get to it that way. Options or sorry, system options. There it is. Control O. It tells me there. Okay. So anyway, so under the options menu, I may have just like confused it completely. Open this. No, open it again. Um, Under UI settings, and that's where I have user skins that I acquired from there. There's the links. Lotro interface is really great for plugins and things like this. This add-on, the user skin. I also have the bigger wardrobe, which I really like. Do I ever need to update the mod? Occasionally, yes. There will be an occasional update to that. For example, right now up at the top, my portrait up there, you'll notice there's no picture of me in there because there is a glitch where it can't seem to work with the skin and also put my picture in there. What it does is it basically every time you transition through any transition, like through a door, through a portal, it takes your portrait and it makes it smaller, even though the frame stays the same. And so you end up getting this smaller and smaller and smaller circle inside there until it turns to like to a pinpoint. And that circle is what you click on. Where like if you right click on it to like leave an instance, and so it gets to the point where it's a pinpoint and you can't click on it. So you right now the workaround is we just disable our character portraits and 3D portraits, so you don't have my little face sitting there looking around. But it's fine. So eventually, like they hope to fix that, but they haven't been able to figure out the coding to make it work. So Patty, McGinty, yes, occasionally they do come up with updates because when Lotro updates things, sometimes it then impacts how the UI skins relate to things, or like if they create a new window. If SSG creates a new window, well, they would need to have the skin to match that. So stuff like that. So Gvince comes along and says bonjour, de France. I don't know this game, Lord of the Rings. What is the story? It is playing in the world of Middle Earth during the time of the Lord of the Rings books. I'm actually kind of getting close to the end of my streaming here, so maybe other folks in chat can pop in with more of the detail. Padme Ginty asks, how do you update the mod when new updates come out? You just go to that Lotro interface, and they'll have usually like the update there. I use, for plugins, there's a plugin manager. What's it called, honey? um, Lotro plugin compendium, and I use that, and that it's just a screen that pops up, and it has all the plugins that you have loaded, and then it'll like highlight them if they need to be updated, if there's an update available, and then you can just go click 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 update, and it just goes and all your stuff updates for you. It's like really handy. Now after my stream, B4 will be streaming, and he talks a lot about plugins and plugin development, so he can actually speak more eloquently to that question. Oh, before I log off though, I did want to hang on a second. Let me give it a second to load. Okay, so before I head out and pass the baton over to B4, I wanted to see if I could come up with a good place to hang these instruments, which is why I was looking at the wall hooks. So let's see if I have any wall hooks left. Let's see. Okay, so there's one. And there's one. Okay, so there's two, which means I might be able to find a third one. So I got these cool instruments from the Midsummer Festival, and they just hang on the wall. And I thought, well, that's kind of a fun idea. Like maybe I could just have a whole bunch of instruments hanging on a wall next to each other. But it takes, wall hooks. So there's another one. So I might be able to, oops, where is this? Yeah, scooch this out here. Let me follow it floating through air. Turn it around a little bit. And, oops, wrong way, wrong way. And let's see if I can get up against the wall. Oops, too far. Yeah? What do we think? Maybe one more. There we go. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to get those hanging up because I thought that would be kind of fun to have those hanging up in my house. I might end up needing to change the wallpaper though. That's a bit intense, isn't it? And then I have these wintry lantern posts. I thought they might be good for up here, but I don't know if I have any hooks left because, I do use them a lot. Unfortunately, I can't use it on a wall. That's sad. So we might be out of luck in terms of putting this out for now, unless I want to like steal the snowman hook just so we can look at it. Well, that is pretty cute though, isn't it? All right, we may need to just, take that over anyway. And maybe hang on to the others for now. Unless I've got a furniture hook down here I can throw up there, but no. We'll just leave it. We'll leave it for now. Okay, so that was the majority of what I wanted to accomplish today. So I wanted to show you a couple housing items that I got. Well, I wanted to place a couple housing items that I got, and I was like, well, I might as well show y'all because I'll do it on stream. Actually, I'm going to pop over to my Floodside Roadhouse and make sure I've got one of these fire pits there. And if I don't, put it down there. So, excuse me. And I'm sorry, my voice is starting to kind of go a little bit, so I kind of want to go. But I don't want you to think I'm ignoring your questions, Banis, and everybody. What I'll probably do is let B4 come in next, and he can start answering any questions that I didn't get to. So, yeah, as EU player, which server is the best option? Yeah, I mean that's a fantastic question, and okay, all right. So I can, and I might type something in the chat afterwards. So, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and head off. I'm gonna drop a dragon in my yard, and off stream, and I will see you all in the chat. And stick around. Before's coming up right next, and I will be back next Tuesday as usual. Hopefully with more voice and all of that. So. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. I'll see you in the chat in a moment anyway. All right, take care. Bye-bye.